That's what I'm working on right now. Um, so I created a new channel. It's Elite 8 AI Music. Now I, as you already know, I work with a lot of AI tools, and I know there's a lot of people out there who hate AI. They hate AI music. They hate AI video. They hate AI just for the sake of hating it. But I just want to propose to you that if you have your own creativity, so a lot of the AI uh, digital media that I put out is I took time to come up with the idea, think about the idea, and to design the prompt. The prompt is the thing you type inside of it, the sentence or the question or the instruction that you want to give to your AI tool. And then, so there's a lot of it designing and a lot of thought that has to go into producing AI content that people seem to trivialize and throw to the side. And it does take a lot of your creativity. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people out there who just click the button and generate whatever random thing that the AI chooses to give you. The problem many of us have with that is, a lot of the content is generic. You can see it. And a lot of the content doesn't have much effort behind the person who created it. And you can see a lot of that out there. And I'm guilty of it too, because when I was learning to play with all these tools, I would just generate and make mistakes and trying to figure out how to get it to work according to my style. And let me just kind of show you what I'm talking about here. Okay. If I bring, here's an example, right? Like I wanted a splash screen. Now you guys go to the YouTube channels and you watch them when they do their 24/7 live, you know, stream their music. They'll have like a splash screen, and it'll just be a generic splash screen, and it'll just loop, and it'll be that particular screen 24/7 looping over and over and over, right? I kind of wanted to take a different approach, and I decided to put the effort and the time, which let me tell you, this is not easy. I had to come up with the idea. I have to write the prompt. Okay. After I prompt it, it give me a bunch of gibberish. I tell it, look, just make the damn thing for me. So it make these two for me. I go in here, I click on play. It generates the video for me. I CapCut. And this is Grok, by the way. As you can see here, I'm using Grok. And I work with Grok and I work with ChatGPT. And I used to pay for the ChatGPT, but I kind of cancel it because it was getting expensive, and you could use the free version. The only problem is with the free version, you have so many times before you have to stop using it. And so I would jump between Gemini, ChatGPT, and Grok to get what I want, right? Now here's an example of me. I created the music. I said, give me a prompt. I asked it all the way up here, if you can see. I was like, yo, I need something. I gently want to switch up the track, create a chill lo-fi instrumental track designed to focus and study, to blend tropical EDM rhythms with smooth melodic instruments, include eerie, ethereal, angelic. This is my words. This is me. This is what I wanted, right? They say, yeah, no problem, man. I could give it to you. This is what we're going to have to do. Bam. I'm going to give you a polished prompt. Here's the prompt. Take this prompt and go over to your MusicGPT, which you will see over here, musicgpt.com. I am not a sponsor, but I like their product. You plop it in here, right? Let me assume I did it, right? What I do now is if I like it, I like that version. Remember, I want to make a study track. I want to play it on a loop. So I want it to be chill in the background while you're working, studying, focusing. That's a nice one. All right, I like those tracks, right? It seems like something you could study too and focus while you're doing your work in the background. Just play it, let it run. Now, that is only half the battle. When you finish with that now, I have to import into a program like CapCut or any editing program that you choose to do so. And I decided, okay, I want that every time the track switches, I want a different scenery, and I want some tropical waves in the background so that you get the vibe that this is an ocean. This is a kind of a vibes in kind of situation. Let me show you what I mean. Here's how I started the video, right? So far I have 24 minutes edited, and I'm going to go to 1 hour, maybe even 2 hours if I could go that far. But let me tell you, editing this takes a lot of time. Okay. So when you see people do this kind of work, you automatically assume, oh, they're using AI. So it's easy, right? No, it's not. It takes a lot of your time, your effort, and you still need to think like an artist. You still need to think creatively. You still need to figure out how you're going to put all this together. What's the workflow? What's the stream you want to, what's the stream of consciousness you want to align? And this is where AI really helps you. Like if you were to do this kind of work years ago without AI, you would probably be doing it. I would probably be doing this in a month to create one track. And now you're doing it within hours, just with some creativity and a little bit of time. So that's for this whole track here. Now I'm going to switch it up because I don't want the whole track. It's basically a series of tracks. Remember all those tracks I downloaded with MusicGPT? Now here we go. I'm going to show you how I had to edit it into the transition. So as the track switches now, you're going to see this right here. Now listen carefully. Yeah? And I went right into them. I had to edit them. It took me like 10 minutes trying to figure out how I wanted to overlap. Watch the screen. I changed the whole scene for each track. Boom. And there we go. So for the whole track, this is the scene. And I made sure I had my branding and my subscription. Please subscribe and input my branding in there. And a little bit of ocean. I want when each track begin. Again, this is my thinking, my design, my collating. And so I just wanted to sort of make this for you to understand the process and the time it takes for me to try and put together a track in a composite way that feels ethereal, that feels dreamy, that feels like a natural stream of consciousness progressing forward, right? So the point I'm trying to make to you is that at the end of the day, AI is still just a tool that you can use to boost your own creativity. These are my tracks. These are my ideas. These are my thoughts. These are my requests. And AI says, here you go. And I go, I like it. Now I have to figure out how to put it together. I could make individual tracks, and I could go on DistroKid or one of these other things, which is my next move, by the way, for monetization, and create my own genre of music on these streaming platforms like Apple Music and Amazon and Spotify, which I'm going to do next. But right now, this is a long progression that I'm going to upload on a loop on YouTube. So I'm basically gonna just play this on YouTube 24/7 like a radio station, and hope that I will draw in enough of a crowd to build the channel. And this doesn't stop here. I keep creating. Now, in some other contexts, you're actually going to see me creating content with my own voice. That's coming next. But I needed to create enough content to prime the channel and to sort of build a theme around what I want to build around. The whole idea for this music channel, or this style of music that I want to put out, is that many of you may not know, but I have done ceremonies before, mushroom and ayahuasca ceremonies. And what I found in those ceremonies is that it's very It's a very cohesive spiritual moment. And music is a part of that. Whether you're singing, whether you play an instrument, whether we play music like this. And it came to me after I came out and came back home and going about my life that sound and frequency is so important to your life. And we look at our lives, we look at where we live our lives right now. You turn on the radio, you put on your AirPods, you're going somewhere, you're constantly listening to a certain kind of music, certain words, certain sounds, and that seeps into your consciousness and sits in your subconscious. And little do we know, it dictates the way we see life, the way we interact with life. And so, I throughout history and my fascination with history, I saw how in ancient civilizations, temples were important, bells were important, humming was important. All these ancient civilizations that have now collapsed used sound and frequency to build their civilizations and move them forward. And he who controls frequency controls the mind. That is just something that came to me. So I thought, why not create music? I love music. I grew up listening to all kinds of music, dancehall, reggae, hip hop, But now I want to start creating my own music and creating my own tribe around sounds that subliminally implant positive reinforcement and a guide into how to navigate your own body as a temple and how to deal with love, relationship, interacting with other beings. And so I wanted to create a fusion channel where I create music and sounds that act like a fusion, where you could play these sounds when you're working, you're trying to focus on a project, or maybe you're just having a drink, chilling, relaxing by the pool, talking to a few people, but in a different kind of way. Because normally when we hang out with people, we hang out in such a very uh, erratic manner, and we play music that really promotes or pushes an environment that's not too, in my mind, too positive. Whereas if we play music with sounds and words and frequencies that harmonizes the group, then we really could get into the flow of interacting with each other. Even in a meditative state, I have a vision for meditation parties. This is weird, but I envision parties where eventually people will come together, whether they meet by the poolside or in their living rooms or wherever, and instead of just bouncing and raving and whatever, we all just chilling, relaxing. Maybe you have a little THC, maybe you take something, you chill vibes with each other, you talk, you communicate, and you play something like this in the backtrack. And that becomes the mood. So anyway, that's the essence of why I built Elite AI music channel. And there's more to come. You're going to see a lot more. And I hope you enjoy. And just know it does take a lot of work, and I'm making the effort. And if you're interested in seeing my workflow and my process, leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think. Give me your honest feedback. And if you're interested in making your own music, your own style of music, your own channel, let me know, and I'll share with you what I've learned, what I'm doing, and good luck.